this video we will cover typographic systems. There are 8 typographic systems. These systems are designed to guide the viewer and help the designer make decisions about where to place different elements. The first system that we will cover is the axial system. The axial system is one in which all elements are organized to the left or to the right of a single axis. Let's explore this a bit further. On the left hand side, you can see a canvas in which the axis is placed on the right third of the canvas. There are elements coming out of both sides of the axis. In the middle example, we can see an axis composed of different zigzag lines. The axis has elements coming out of both sides of the zigzag. And on the right hand side, we can see a canvas in which the axis is tilted. Again, both sides of the axis has elements. In this example, we can see that it is using the rotated axis and elements coming out on both sides of the axis. Although the axis is invisible, the viewer can still perceive an invisible axis line. Next, we have the radial typographic system. In this system, all of the elements extend from a single point of focus. Let's explore this a bit further. On the left-hand side, we can see a canvas in which the point of focus is a circle and all of the elements come out of it. In the middle example, the point of focus is another circle, but this time only half of it is filled with elements. On the right-hand side example, we can see multiple points of focus, each one with elements coming out on diagonal lines. In this example, we can see that the point of focus is a white dot. The white dot draws the viewer in and allows him or her to explore the lines of text surrounding the dot. Next, we have the dilatational typographic system. In this system, all of the elements expand from a central point in a circular fashion. Let's explore this a bit further. On the left-hand side, we can see the point of focus again is a circle, this time with rings of elements surrounding it. In the middle example, the rings have shifted and are aligned to the left. And on the right-hand example, we can see that there is multiple points of focus and the rings expand outward from the middle of the circles. In this example, we can see that there are multiple points of focus. The viewer is automatically drawn to the biggest contrast, which is the black, and can then explore the additional lines of text that come out of it. Next, we have the random typographic system. In this type of system, all the elements appear to have no specific relationship. Let's explore this a bit further. There are no specific relationships, but there are different ways to position the elements to give it points of focus. On the middle example, we can see that there is a circle which automatically draws the viewer in and then allows him or her to explore the other elements. On the right hand side, all of the elements appear to be falling and allow the viewer to sort his way into the bottom right corner. In this example, we can see that the viewer is automatically drawn to the dark, bold letters and then can explore the additional lines of text behind the dark letters. Next, we have the grid typographic system. This is a system of vertical and horizontal divisions. It was made famous and popularized by different graphic designers in the 20th century, known as the Swiss typographic system. On the left-hand side, we can see that the canvas has been divided equally into squares. On the middle example, we can see that the grid has shifted, it is no longer, and on the right hand example, we can see that the grid has tilted on a diagonal. In this example, we can see that a grid is not physically there, but if we look at all of the elements, they are divided into vertical thirds, and then there is 6 horizontal lines. Although it is not apparent at first, once a person breaks down the typographic system, this can be easily put together. The next typographic system is known as the modular typographic system. In this system, there are units within the canvas, and these are standardized units. Let's explore this a bit further. On the left-hand side, we can see that the units are not divided or placed equally along a certain grid, but the squares themselves are. And on the right-hand example, we can see that the units become thin rectangles. Let's explore this in a design. In this design, we can see that the units are rectangles. All of these rectangles are on the right-hand side except for one of them, automatically drawing the viewer in, and also the units are stacked randomly. The next typographic system is known as the Transitional typographic system. In this system, there is no formal way of putting the elements together. We can see on the left-hand example that the elements are mostly on the bottom left corner, and there is an element that extends to the bottom right corner. The viewer is automatically drawn in by the black circle on the top right corner, and then he or she can explore the rest of the composition. In the middle example, we can see that there are 2 elements on the top right hand side. The middle dot serves as a breaking point from which the viewer can make their way down the rest of the design. And on the right hand side, we can see that the elements are this time stacked vertically with one line on the right hand side and then another point of interest with a circle on the bottom right hand side. In this example, we can see that the lines of text are piled on top of each other. There is a lot of overlapping within the letters, and there is also a circle at the bottom which serves as a finishing point from which the viewer can explore the design. The next typographic system is known as a bilateral typographic system. In this system, all the text is arranged symmetrically on a single axis. The axis can be straight down the middle, it can be on the right hand side, or it can be on the left hand side. There's infinite ways to make these typographic systems work. In this example, we can see that the axis is made up of text. It is placed on the left hand side of the design, and there is text coming out, and there is equal amounts of text on both sides of the axis. The circular design on the bottom right serves as a finishing point for the viewer. It is important to know that these typographic systems are only here to guide the designer to place elements accordingly, to let the viewer guide his or her way through the design, and can be infinitely mixed, changed, or altered. The presentation is a summary of the content that can be found in this book. It is called Typographic Systems by Kimberly Elam, and it is highly recommended to every designer.